Hello, Professor Dent and my esteemed classmates. I'd like to begin by sharing with you a brief background regarding my leadership project. I believe it's important to understand why I chose to organize an ancillary fundraiser event in the form of a golf tournament in association with the National Kidney Foundation. Our daughter, Celia Jane Chevsky, was born with kidney disease that she developed while in utero. We found a little more than halfway through our pregnancy that she would not survive post-labor. Although this was the most difficult time of our lives, my family and I have turned something tragic into something good in the form of this project and this great organization. This project has become the foundation for what I hope is many annual golf tournaments in honor of our daughter to keep her memory alive for many years to come. When I first decided that I wanted to pursue this idea, I was torn because I knew it would be emotional for me. I also knew that failure would not be an option. And this was the passion that was driving me. My selection of teammates was the next critical piece to this project. I can't emphasize that enough. I decided to recruit friends and family to participate in this project as opposed to coworkers, as I currently work remote, and due to the geographic location, that would have been difficult. After I spoke with each team member and ended up having commitments from each of them, our team was comprised of 5 individuals. My interactions with the team at first were a little awkward. Wasn't sure how to navigate through these waters, as I've never been in a leadership position with no real authority, giving orders to family and friends. You can imagine how hard that must be. Furthermore, I was responsible for getting them to do things that most managers find difficult in the workplace, where there's a chain of command. I used some of my valuable skills I've learned as a project manager to get me through. As a project manager, I often find myself functioning in the same capacity professionally. I'm responsible for influencing people with no real authority. Initially, I thought it would be easy to lead them, especially since they all knew how important this project was to me. One of the first challenges that I noticed that it wasn't as easy to influence them as I originally anticipated. My initial approach was to be lenient when assigning tasks with the assumption that I had recruited the right team and they would adhere to the deadlines that I had set forth. I was surprisingly mistaken. I don't believe it has anything to do with neglect or my team's work ethic. I just think that they had a list of priorities and this project did not fall at the top of their list. I do believe they cared about the cause and the personal situation involving myself and my family. For me, this project was the most important thing I had going on in my life. I had to take a step back and realize this was not the case for each of my team members, regardless of how they felt about my personal situation. I knew assuming the role of project leader, I would be taking on a bulk of the workload, because that's part of my style, particularly when it comes to organizing things. At one point, I felt as though my team was lacking the sense of urgency needed in organizing this event in the time we had allotted. After exploring some of the readings we had in class, I decided to use an alternative method to influence them. The method that I chose was inspiration. Goldman and Boyce talk about this in an article we had read in class. Inspiring people can have a profound impact if done the right way. I needed a drastic change to occur. I decided I needed to articulate my vision better.